This is the most violent business I've ever seen. Dismantling a plane earns tens of millions of yuan. As big as the engine, as small as a screw. Every part of the plane is a treasure. In the distance was a Boeing 747. Today is the day when his beasts are sleeping. He will be dismantled in America's largest aircraft graveyard. Let's take a look. This old airliner. How did you make a recycling shop owner rich overnight? The first to be dismantled is the engine. He is the most valuable on this 747. It's the most sought after component. Long before the plane arrived, it has been booked by major airlines because it's priceless. Extreme care must be taken when disassembling. Master Ji Gong carefully moved the trailer to the engine and then tied around it with a sling as thick as a finger. After making sure all the locks are correct, dare to slow down the engine. The whole disassembly process takes a week. Although the construction period is long, it is worth it. Each engine is worth 10 million. For his 40 million. That's a lot of money. The second part extracts fuel. The Boeing 747 has 7 fuel tanks on the wings. Inside the joint machine, there's still a lot of oil left in these tanks. If it is not withdrawn in time, not only will it give subsequent disassembly, leave a hidden danger of fire, you'll also lose a significant amount of income. The technician measured the oil level with a dipstick. There is still 20% left. He immediately dragged the pipeline. Connect the valve. 40,000 liters of aviation kerosene. It was sucked into the oil truck. Sold for 200,000 yuan. Pick up money for a car for nothing. After the fuel is pumped out, and then the cockpit. Each of these meters is valuable, like this fuel gauge that's being taken out right now. Second-hand prices can be sold for 4,000 RMB. And a meter like this. There are more than 120 on the Boeing 747. After they are removed, they will be recalibrated and refurbished. Expected to bring 550,000 yuan's considerable income. However, due to the precision of the instrument, delicate body must be disassembled manually, doing this in a stuffy cockpit. It's not easy. Next up is the brain for dismantling airplane. It's directly under the cab. Only 4 square meters. Now they're climbing up the ladder. Hidden here is most of the electronics of the 747. Each black box is worth 4 to 80,000 RMB. Little brother counted, 40 in total, 2 million yuan. And the tail. The black box is crucial to air crash investigation. It's not really expensive. 2 can be sold for 40,000 yuan if the previous work is still relatively easy. So here's the hard bone. The belly of a Boeing 747. Hidden 8 kilometers of pipeline, 275 kilometers of wires, and 3 million fastener. The hatch in front of you is the only way to enter the skin. Even experienced technicians, faced with such complex and staggered components, also quite a headache. He expressed that, start with the easiest air conditioner to disassemble. The equipment in the skin is not very valuable, but the price is more. Altogether, it is also a considerable income. Skin cleaned up. And then, there's the chicken nose. You can't imagine. In the second-hand market, the outer cover is much more expensive than the inner part. This nose cone is worth 100,000 yuan. And the internal weather radar can only be sold for 35,000 yuan. Sure enough, electronic products depreciate rapidly. The airline industry is no exception. The next big thing is the wings and the tail. The most valuable thing here is the actuator. There are 10 Boeing 747s in total are on the wing. The other 6 are mounted on the tail and rudder. Each actuator weighs 90 kilograms. It's embedded inside the wing through a toe structure. Difficult to disassemble and heavy. It's extremely difficult to remove them from the high position. 3 mechanics rely on lifts to the wing. One of them is doing his best to lift his 250 kilograms. The other to repeatedly maneuver in a limited space. Takes 20 minutes. I just took off this iron pimple. Each actuator is worth 3.5 to 7 million yuan. 10 are expected to have an income of about 500,000. Disassembled. Next is the super decompression link. A beast with iron arms and bronze teeth is already in place. His task is to completely tear apart the 747 silkworm body. This claw has a force of 90 tons. Cutting a 747 is like eating a crispy yellow crow. Tear off the chicken head in just a few strokes. At this point, the staff quickly entered the cabin. Table seat removal compartment. Remove all the parts that can be removed. Strive for the highest recycling value. The remaining debris looks like a pile of junk, but they can also be squeezed out a lot. A large truck transports metal scraps to Chicago. United Metals is located here. We'll filter out the aluminum in it and put them at a temperature of 1,000 degrees Celsius. The aluminum water will eventually be poured into the blocks of high-quality aluminum. They will be used in automobile manufacturing. Keep playing the residual heat. The scrap of a 747 airliner can make 5 or 6 kilograms. Aluminium has a fixed value of 200,000 yuan. The disassembly of the entire aircraft has been 50 technicians, over 3 months, eventually generate a profit of tens of millions of RMB. The factory manager who disassembled the factory provides also 7 million salary and benefit. On average, 50,000 RMB per person. That's upper middle income in the United States, but it's a good salary in China. I don't know how to use this money to hire you in front of the screen. Dismantling planes at home. Would you like to do it? Welcome to express your opinions in the comment area.